yeah, they were on fire. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
You're watching CTV Sports. Yeah! Let's go!
Good evening, Ram fans, and happy Monday. Welcome to our final sports show of the semester. I'm Maddie Warren.
And I'm Jessica Mendoza, filling in for Corey Odom. Maddie, the NFL draft was all we could talk about this weekend, and we all know Kyler Murray was the first overall pick. Did that surprise you at all?
It honestly didn't. I feel like a lot of people are split 50-50 on if it surprised them or not. And I feel like it was a really similar situation to Zion Williamson, where he had so much media coverage and there was so much talk behind him making history as being the first player to go first in the MLB and go first in the NFL. So I really wasn't that surprised that he was taken first overall.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit surprised, but, you know, he definitely has that talent. I think he could be a really good fit with the Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as much as that didn't surprise me, I know you probably had a couple picks that really surprised you.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 4 with Clelin Ferrell. He surprised me a lot. I think he wasn't in any of our mock drafts for Triple J Pick'em Challenge, so we were all really surprised to see that. But now thinking about it with the Raiders, they love to surprise us every single draft, and I think that was overall a good pick for them. I think he'll be a great fit for that team.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of surprised me a little bit too, because he didn't run the 40-yard dash on his pro day or at the combine. And so I think that was another reason why a lot of people didn't really see him going pretty early in the draft, was because he didn't showcase a ton.
Yeah, but if you turn on the tapes and you watch him how he played all season, he's definitely a really strong player, and he's going to fit well there.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a power rusher, I think for the Raiders, that's going to be really, really beneficial for them to have him there.
Absolutely. So what do you think about the Broncos' new players they picked up in this draft?
I don't know. I mean, with Drew Lock, he has such an arm on him, but I think it's going to take a lot of coaching to kind of clean that up a little bit and just polish it a little, because he's a little inconsistent. But like I said, like, he has a really strong arm. He's coming in behind Joe Flacco, and so he's going to have a really good person to learn under.
Yeah, I agree. He's got all that experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And so I think, like I said, like with the coaching and with the Broncos, I think it's going to be really helpful for him to kind of take that strong arm and tone it down and actually be
absolutely
useful.
Well, and they have a new target now in Noah Fant from Iowa. I think he's going to fit really well in this program. I think Joe Flacco really loves his tight end, so I think it was a good pick. I think it was a surprise to be in the first round, but overall, I like the pick, and I like the trade back as well for the Broncos.
Well, there's one pick that not a lot of people liked, and that was Daniel Jones with the Giants.
Yep.
I don't know
about that one either. Dave Gettleman will really support that one till he dies, but, you know, I think you got to wait. You can't put too much pressure on the kid. He's going to be a rookie, and you got to wait to see how he works out in the NFL. You can't judge too much in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's a dream come true for him, so I'm sure he'll be putting in the work.
Absolutely.
Pretty hard to prove him wrong.
Absolutely.
Well, as much as we all miss Corey, he's a New York Giants fan, so we couldn't leave the last show without him saying one last thing.
All right, how's it going, Ram fans? My name's Corey Odom, and I'm here from an overcast New Jersey, and I just want to say thanks for the great semester. I hope to see you all next semester as well. But I would be doing myself a discredit if I didn't also say, go Daniel Jones. I feel like I'm the only one in media who's going to say that. And also, go New York Giants. Woo!
Well, Corey, thank you so much for that video. We definitely miss you a lot here. But with more draft talk, as the first, second, third, and finally 6th rounds of the NFL draft all came to an end Saturday evening, there had yet to be a player picked from Colorado State. That is until the 247th or 7th to last pick in the draft, wide receiver Olabisi Johnson got picked up by the Minnesota Vikings. Johnson was the only Ram that had been invited to the Combine this year. However, that wasn't the end of the story for the Rams this weekend. Receiver Preston Williams was expected by many, including myself, to be selected in the 3rd or 4th round, but instead Williams slid and slid and he slid. Once the clock ran out on the final pick of the draft, Williams' agent's phone rang multiple times by teams requesting to pick up Williams. Ultimately, Williams decided to make his NFL debut in Miami as a Dolphin and as an undrafted free agent. The Denver Broncos have also signed Rams linebacker Josh Watson as an undrafted free agent. Watson led the Rams in tackles last season, and finally, Izzy Matthews and Trey Thomas have been invited to team minicamps. Matthews in Houston with the Texans and Thomas in Indianapolis with the Colts, where they will compete to earn contracts with each respective team following the camp. These rookies will be joining fellow next-level Rams in the NFL, such as Michael Gallup, Rashard Higgins, Tyson Bryo, Garrett Grayson, and Weston Richburg.
A conference championship is on the horizon for CSU Softball. The Rams had a strong start against SDSU on Friday, finishing the game an inning early. However, getting jammed inside and not being able to lay off the rise gave the Aztecs the win in the second game of the series. SDSU's Alicia Garcia and Marissa Moreno pitched tough against the Rams and shut down the bats that have been so dominant this season. CSU hasn't lost a series all year, so the pressure was on for the final game of the weekend. That also happened to be senior day. And a freshman walked it off for the seniors. In her first collegiate start and her second hit of her career, Caitlin Cook won Sunday's game for the CSU softball team in their last home game of the season. Cook stepped up for the Rams when junior Karina Gamboa was taken out of Saturday's game after a bad hop caught her in the face. After CSU's win 4-3 over the Aztecs, I was able to speak with Bridgette Hutton about her final home game.
Playing my last home games at Ranfield is definitely, a sad moment, but, I think this year we really did a good job I told my mom, I was like, let's just stay in the moment, like every game, let's just, be happy and, all that stuff, so it's definitely a bittersweet for sure.
The Rams head to Boise State this weekend in hopes of clinching the Mountain West Championship for just the second time in program history. All they need is either one more win or for San Jose State to lose.
Wow, Maddie, the CSU softball team has been on fire lately. What an awesome another win for them. Well, Rams, that is all we have for you right now, but don't go anywhere because up next is Castro's Cut with his top 3 athletes of the year.
Plus, the Triple J Pick'em Challenge has the NHL and NBA teams locked in for the playoffs. And then I sat down with the Hutton family to talk about their history at CSU. Don't go anywhere.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
How's it going, Rams? Welcome to Castro's Cut. I am Litos Castro, here to give you the rundown of what's coming up in CSU Sports this week. It's the last cut of the semester. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can stick to that plan. But without further ado, let's get rolling right into it. We're going to start off with the track team. Last time I get to talk about them, they have some great athletes on that squad. I'm going to miss talking about them. But for now, they, on Friday, are heading to Wyoming for the 72-20 invite. It's Wyoming. Happy days in hot weather. Great day for a track meet. They can see if they can come out, finish the season strong up there in Wyoming for you. Next up, we got softball. They're looking to finish out the season. They got away games left. They finished up at home this past weekend, so now they just got the away opponents left. Boise State's going to be their first matchup coming up this weekend. Starting on Friday, they're going to have their first game at 5 in the evening. Saturday, same time for you. Sunday, bringing it a little early at 1 in the afternoon. Then on Monday, then we won't be here, but softball team will be in action, taking on BYU Monday at 3 in the afternoon. And believe it or not, that's all we've got for CSU Sports. So I'm going to expand a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the pros. We got playoff season unfolding for you. So the NBA Finals is coming up. We don't know yet who will be there, but it is guaranteed to start on May 30th. And I'm a little disappointed we don't get to see a Triple J for that one. I would have just loved to see that action unfold. But it's going to be great action no matter what. It's the finals. You got playoff teams, Steph Curry and the Rockets right now. That's a fun matchup to watch. We're going to see who makes it all the way for you. But if you're not into basketball, we got soccer. I know I love it, so you should too, because that's cool. Women's World Cup coming up June 9th. That's when all the fun action starts. If you're not a fan of soccer, if you don't like soccer because you think there's too much flopping, watch women's soccer. I would suggest to watch women's soccer because that action is so much fun. Goodness gracious, they go at it. All right, that's my bit of that for you. All right, but aside from the sports coming up in the world, I thought it would only be fair to bring back what I did last year and take a look at CTV's top athletes of the year. So in no particular order, we're going to start it off with the man, Nico Carvaccio. Wow, what a season he had for the men's basketball team. Led the nation in rebounding, first team in the All-Mountain West, entered his name in the NBA draft pool. Man getting double-doubles, big presence under the basket and putting numbers up on the board for his team, win or loss. Having a strong performance out there. You have to give him some credit. I mean, that man is a star in the making, and you have to give him some respect for that one. Next up, we got Mary Beth Sant of the track and field team. Goodness gracious, you have to give her some credit too. She placed fifth at the Milrose games, but don't let that number fool you. That is incredibly impressive. Broke the school record for the 60-meter dash twice in the same season. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I can not many people can even break a record to begin with, and she's breaking one twice in a season. Got to give her some credit on that one. And I mean, I can't even run that fast. That's intimidating. But definitely some respect to her. Well done from her throughout the season, and she is also just going to continue to build up her skill throughout her career. And then finally, we finish it up with Bridgette Hutton, pitcher on the softball team. Softball, they're not even done with their season, and she is killing it. 15-4 record, lowest ERA in her career. If you've looked at her numbers from when she started to where she is now, she's just kept improving. Mountain West Pitcher of the Week multiple times this season. She is shutting down batters in the box, shutting down entire teams left and right, and it's amazing to watch. Got to give these Rams some credit. Great athletes all around. Well done from them. All right, we've got all of that out of the way. And finally, for the top play of the week, let's roll this one.
I'm picking the Nuggets. What he?
Okay.
Go Nuggets. Yeah. I honestly have. Go Jared. Nuggets.
Hey,
Jared, look at all those high fives, but here it comes, Jared. Recognizing he's not going to get that high five-ing himself. That's probably the best play in this whole year. I don't care what anyone says. That is amazing. Goodness gracious. All right, that's all I've got for you, guys. But coming up next, we have the Triple J Pick'em Challenge. They've got all you need to know on the NBA, NHL, and the Kentucky Derby. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
How's it going, Ram fans? And welcome back to the final Triple J Pick'em Challenge of the semester. This is our last week to make picks before we find out who won the Triple J for the semester. But let's take a look at the current rankings and the last rankings at that. Here, this looks pretty similar to last semester, I would say.
Yeah, I'm on top. I'm
Hey,
some of the best.
We're tied, technically. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why.
I'm at the bottom.
Just to clarify.
What's
that.
new?
Yeah, that's why it looks familiar, because Jason's at the bottom. Well, moving on from last week, let's start with the NBA, the NHL picks for Game 3 of the Sharks versus the Avalanche. Jared, who do you got here?
Okay, so I chose against the Avs last time, but this time I'm going with the Avs. Now the Avs, yeah, exactly. And when you're watching that game, their defense, the Sharks' defense is only their goalie right now. That's the only one playing defense, and he cannot consistently keep on getting save after save after save. There's no way that he can consistently stay at that basis. The Avs are going to win this one flying colors.
What's that?
Excuse me?
They can't guard him, bro.
Well, I also have the Avs. These Sharks are tired. They just got out of a 7-series win, and a lot of those games went into overtime. So they're definitely really tired. They're a little beat up, and I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the Avs' speed. We've been hearing it all season about their speed and their talent. So I definitely think that's going to be their way to win this series, and they're going to go on to the third round here.
I agree.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, because my Golden Knights lost to these Sharks,
Your Golden Knights?
going with the Sharks. One reason why is that the Avs are too one-line dependent. So outside of Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog, and Mikko Rantanen, they're not the best team if those three aren't playing up to par. Sure, Tyson Barrie will come off the bench, and he'll get you some goals here and there. Tyson Jost, maybe. But when you got Brett Burns and Joe Pavelski coming for the Sharks, and they're coming at you hard, I mean, they beat one of the best goalies in the league in the first round. What do you think they're going to do in this round?
So you named 2 players the Sharks had. How many players did you name for the Avalanche that are great?
And they're only going to lose if they don't play their best. But it's the playoffs.
That's one
you
line.
You got to play your best.
That the Sharks, top to bottom, all their lines are good. They're not the best, but they're all good. The Avs,
I think
top
that's
to bottom.
Arguable. Definitely arguable.
Well, I don't know. It depends. The last game, you obviously saw that the Avs were able to pull ahead and stay ahead because Martin Jones can't do everything for that defense for the Sharks.
But if you watch the series against the Golden Knights, when games started to matter, he started to play his best. He had 59 saves in one game. Martin Jones, sure, he gave up 4 goals. He's not going to do it again.
Well, you got to get up to the Avs because they finished the series a little bit quicker here.
What do you mean finish it quicker? It's game 3. It's tied 1-1.
Then the first round.
They're going to win.
Okay,
right, let's move on.
We're moving on.
Base.
Jumping into the NBA playoffs, Jess, who do you think is going to make it into the conference finals?
So I definitely think it's a clear pick here for me. I picked the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's all I have to say.
Antetokounmpo. Okay, hold on.
Antetokounmpo.
If you're gonna mention
right.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, I want to show you a picture real quick. Is that okay?
What? Sure.
Is that okay? All right. Can we roll the picture of Giannis? There we go. That was last game. that was your MVP. And
That's Jaylen Brown. That's not even a big guy. That's a point guard.
He's not even that good.
Let me explain why I think. 4th overall in offense, 1st overall in defense. They're the only team in the NBA to have 2 teams that are in the top 5. So they're going to beat your teams in both sides of the ball.
How much did they lose by last
happened?
game?
A lot, you're right.
And what happened in that picture?
Giannis was not on his game.
So exactly.
Right.
So if Giannis doesn't play good,
it takes a little bit. That was
sucks.
game 1. He's figured out that they're gonna have 2 men on him at all times.
Or you're gonna go with my pick.
Okay.
And you're gonna take Boston because they just whooped the Bucks.
Game 1 game.
They're gonna sweep them. That's all I have to say because Kyrie Irving is the best point guard in the league.
Okay. Good.
You're selling for that? Okay.
Right.
I'm going the Nuggets. All right. The Nuggets.
Oh, man.
The Nuggets keep on. No matter who they play, they keep it close no matter what though. No matter who they play, they're always going to keep it close. And in all honesty, they're playing the Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers play terribly against Nuggets. When they had Jamal Murray and Jokic out, they still almost won. The Nuggets, they've never lost the Trailblazers without Jokic or Murray, and Jokic goes off every single time they play against the Blazers, and they don't have Yusuf Nurkic with them anymore. So.
Well, I would love to see that.
You're giving me Dame time.
It's Dame Dollar time.
But if that's your only guy, I don't think you're going to be able to do it. Him and CJ McCollum, I think those back-to-back.
They're the best 1-2 in the league.
But Nuggets have a lot more than that.
Well, I would love to see the Nuggets win, but let's move on to a sport we have yet to cover this year, which horsey do you think will win the Kentucky Derby, guys? Let's go.
So my horsey, I mean, if we're going to go that route, I went with Maximum Security. So Maximum Security, he's coming off a fresh win at the Florida Derby. Sure, he's got 7-1 odds to win, or 6-1, excuse me. And a lot of people think he won't even finish in the top 10. So that's why I went with Maximum Security to prove all these haters wrong.
Okay.
I'm choosing the horse name Improbable. Nothing Oh my gosh, it sounds like a horse.
Got the horses in the back.
Horses in the back, of course. I'm choosing improbable because that's exactly how my season has been so far with the Triple J Pick'em. This season, I was in last place for a long time. I shot up to first place. It was improbable that was going to happen. Guess what? It did, and I'm
sounds
with
like a
horse.
Warriors underdog story.
Yes, and right
Well,
now
that's
They're
interesting,
never
Jared.
underdogs because you won last semester. I don't want to hear
By
that.
a
Let
lot.
me tell you,
By a lot.
improbable winning is even more improbable because his owner also owned the horse who won last year, which hasn't happened since 1992 or 72 and 73. So, I guess we're moving on to my pick. I have win, 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 and you know what? I don't even know why I picked win, win, win. I don't really pay attention to the Kentucky Derby ever, but if his name is Win, 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 and he's a cute little horse,
Right.
I'm picking him to win.
People care about hats more than the actual race.
Look at win, win, win. He's
I've
gonna
heard
win.
so many horses on this.
That's who I picked to win.
Well, at least we went to something, different.
All right, well, Rams, that is all we have for this week. But head to our Twitter page right now to vote on which one of us you think will win the Triple J Pick'em Challenge, and it's gonna be me. But don't go anywhere because coming up next, Maddie and I have a story on a special softball family bloodline at CSU.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. The CSU softball team has been on fire all season, but with Senior Day starts the closeout for the Rams. And Family Legacy at CSU is another thing that's coming to a close. For the Hutton family, CSU softball runs in their veins. With Taylor starting off the tradition, Haley following, and Bridgette in her final year, Rams softball runs through and through. And when they all happen to match up, it was even better.
Haley got to play with Taylor in college, so that was cool too. So I think it was just Haley got the best of both worlds, playing with me and Taylor. So yeah.
Taylor was fun to play with because she's so outspoken. Like, she'll speak her mind. And she was a great hitter when it came to the changeup. I don't know anybody who can hit a changeup like Taylor. I'll never understand it. So it's so much fun to watch her. And then having Bridgette, I was always behind Bridgette. Taylor was behind me, so I didn't get to really see her all the time, but Bridgette was always in my view, so I could see her, watch her. I knew kind of what she was thinking. That's the cool thing about being sisters, is you know what each other's thinking most of the time. Having your sister on the team is something truly special. So yeah, it's been good. Awesome. I miss it so much. If I could take one more ground ball off of her, I would.
My mom always jokes that I should have gotten injured my senior year or something to redshirt so we could all play together. That was like her dream, but didn't end up working out. But
Through growing up watching her sisters play, Bridgette always felt like CSU was where she needed to be.
It was just a definitely fun experience to watch my sister play and watch exceed and excel at CSU. And my mom grew up here, and so I think it just kind of felt like home for me. So yeah.
And after 8 years of Hutton CSU softball, the three sisters have been able to watch as each of them have grown, as well as the program.
I think we were only like a couple games away, and then every other year we were a couple games away here, and then Haley's years, they were closer, and now Bridgette, she's like right on the dot. So it's a really fun thing to realize like how far this program has come, and it's just a surreal experience too for our family, so it's really fun.
But with their legacy coming to a close, it's also bittersweet.
Sad. Like, I feel sad just because it's all ending and I don't know what the heck we're gonna do next year. Like, we were talking about my mom and what she's gonna do. She might come to the games and just keep taking notes because she's the note taker in the crowds. But it's also a really neat feeling to be able to say that you've made a difference. I think all of us made a difference in our own way.
As for Bridgette, she's 50-50 about not playing with her sisters anymore.
I liked having my own time and like experiencing things on my own, and you know, excelling on my own path, but I also like having my sister here and sharing those memories together. I definitely do miss her a lot. But yeah, I was just kind of like, you know what, you're leaving, so let me do my thing. I think we're all successful in our own ways, and you know, they're doing their big girl jobs now, and I'm soon going to be doing that. So I think it's just fun watching each other grow every year. You know, that support just means everything to me, and I think it's really brought it home the last 4 years, having my family there throughout it all.
With the family being local, there's been no shortage of Hutton faces at any home game.
Well, Maddie, the word bittersweet was used in that video, and I think it couldn't wrap it up better. But at least the Hutton family is ending on such a high note with the amazing season they've had this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bridgette even talked about it, and both of her sisters. Each year they've gotten closer and closer and closer with all of them. And so the fact that the softball team's staring a Mountain West championship down in the face, it's kind of neat to see Bridgette kind of playing for her sisters now.
Yeah, definitely. What an awesome story. But Rams, it is time for this week's Flip or Flop. So this week we sent out this clip of Caitlin Cook from yesterday's softball game.
Now, the ball kind of took off her bat, and she came in really clutch for the Rams this weekend. So she had a couple of really amazing at-bats that one of them almost went out. One of them was pretty beneficial for the Rams. But
yeah, so it looks like 63% think she's hitting this ball out of the park, and 37% think it's going to hit the outfielder's glove.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that one is kind of questionable because she came up a lot, pretty big for the Rams, and so I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I know, yeah. So I
think it's going to be a home run.
I think so too. That's what
Home
I
run.
say because I think it goes over the fence because the way that ball's coming off the bat.
It looks
I don't
strong.
know. Yeah, but let's take a look at what really happened then. So she hits it pretty hard. It's going like.
Oh,
See, that
no, there's
has
the
to be out of the
outfielder.
fence.
She's
like,
there.
That's there. Okay, she.
She
caught it. So
that's an out.
And that's kind of textbook outfielder, where like you find the fence and then you catch the ball. But I thought for sure that was 1,000% going to be out.
Oh yeah, and that was an amazing play, an amazing catch. You got to give it up to that outfielder.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this year we've had many sports that we've covered and many places we've been. So let's take a look at this year's best highlights.
Yeah, a little bit of a pitcher's duel at the beginning between Blake Buer and Joe Millar. Really, in the first 3 innings, Blake ended up with 8 strikeouts in the first 3 innings.
Oh, absolutely. And looking at guys like Ethan Happ and, you know, shutting down like the big guy on a team, Zion Williamson and Duke, UCF cut them really, really, really close. With a guy like Zion going up against that whole team, you shut him down. And I don't know how much of a chance Duke really has.
I think you saw the energy definitely from both teams. You know, both were very engaged, and once it actually hit the shoulder, I believe, of the base runner, and once it hit him, the team just went wild. They knew what happened, so they got that first win. Then we take a look at the second game, a whole different story. Final score ended up being 11-5 in favor of the Rams.
Although what the Rams were able to do today was stop the Aggies behind the arc. Utah State was only able to sink 6 threes in the entire game, so that was kind of their game plan, and they were able to succeed at that. However, like I said, in the lane, in the paint, this Rams team just wasn't able to stop the Aggies today.
One interesting player to watch out in today's game is Chris Martin. He averaged 13 points in both games, one at home and then one on the road. So I'm curious to see how he does, but Nico Carvacho has been a threat in all of these games. So we'll have to see how he does in his rebounding game. It's really hard to shut that kid down.
Oh yeah, especially for Boise State. They don't have the size that matches up with CSU. Nico Carvacho is just going to be an animal on the inside, and if Boise State's going to want to have a chance, they're more than likely going to have to drive on Carvacho and try and get him into foul trouble. Because if not, then Carvacho's just going to sit in the paint and eat up all day.
At the BW Pickett Arena, where we just got done watching the first night of the Skyline Stampede, which is the oldest collegiate rodeo in the country, put on by CSU. Jared, what do you think your favorite event was tonight?
Oh, I had a lot of fun watching the horseback riding today. There was a lot of bareback riding as well. We're not allowed to wear a saddle. It was really fun to watch. The guy ended up doing a backflip right here. He ended up falling. He's okay, though. There's a guy that also almost got stepped on by the horse. He's also okay. It was really fun to watch, though.
The biggest home run of the day came from Griffin Hamill. Shot dead to center field. Had to have gone 420 feet at least. It was a great piece of hitting.
Yeah.
What else did you like about the game?
Well, I thought they did really well on defense as well. Brandon DeLay had that incredible catch, diving catch over center field to I thought that was amazing.
Today I'm out here at the Colorado State softball field where the Rams just defeated the Utah State Aggies 11-10. And due to rain yesterday, the game was suspended, but picked up just where they were in the bottom of the third inning today. In the bottom of the first inning yesterday, the Rams answered early, scoring 5 runs, but in the top of the second, the Aggies weren't holding back and scored 7 runs to put them in the lead.
Yeah, definitely. And again, like Ethan has said, the Rams have always been a very strong volleyball team. They've always been very strong in the Mountain West and the NCAA.
Yeah, so Tatum Newbert was the only senior to play in this game. She did well. She led the team. She was the only leader really on that team, and it was still a struggle shooting, as Ryan Williams talked about in most of his press conferences. The team just couldn't shoot as well, and they had to figure out ways to work around that and win games in different ways, and it just didn't happen this season.
Well, Ram fans, it's been an amazing year that we've had. I've enjoyed directing all of you, and I'm passing the torch off to Jared for this next year. So I'm so excited to see where this program really grows, but it's been such an amazing year. And I want to give a shout out to Ryan Chris for directing all of our shows, as well as Ryan Dillon, who was here for quite a few of our shows and helped behind the scenes, as well as all of studio crew who did everything and all their work that they put into this season. But I'm just so proud of each and every single one of you because we've grown so much together, and we've really grown our own team on this show. So I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm so excited to see the future of CTV Sports. And I think we all want to thank Sydney for being our sports director this year. Let's all give Sydney a round. But Rams, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for following us all semester long and supporting our sports coverage. I'm Jessica Mendoza.
And I'm Maddie Warren. Tune back in tomorrow, same time, same place, to see Jessica Mendoza again and Tara Barrio bringing you one more Disruptive Picks this semester. And tune back in the fall for a new semester of new sports. Have a great night, Rams, and an amazing summer.